Hello there, Homeschool Nolan here to help you navigate learning in the digital age. Today I'd like to talk to you about a question that many ambitious parents who have high hopes for their children ask. How important or valuable is it to get into an Ivy League or an elite university? This is a question I've been asking myself. When I decided to homeschool my own child, one of my concerns was whether pulling him out of the school system might hurt his chances of getting into a good college in the future. Getting into a prestigious university is now more competitive than ever. And with that, the stress and pressure it places on students and parents is greater than ever. And many parents have been asking whether all this stress is worth getting in. Now, I myself graduated from Princeton University back in the 90s, so I feel I can offer some perspective on the value of graduating from a prestigious university. And before answering this question, I'd like to begin by sharing what I observed on what it takes to get into one of these colleges. When I was at Princeton, it seemed to me that there were two types of students who got in. Those who were well-rounded and worked hard in high school, and those who were simply just off the chart brilliant and talented. Now, I know there can be a lot of overlap between these two groups. After all, many brilliant students also work very hard. But the difference between these two groups was really revealed to me while I was at Princeton. Let me explain. I consider myself to have been in the first group, the group of well-rounded students who worked hard in high school. I got good grades in high school. I did extracurricular activities such as speech and debate. I ran track and field. And I also found time to do volunteer work in my community. But I was by no means brilliant in any particular field. And this was really proven to me at Princeton. No matter how hard I worked and how many late nights I spent studying at the library, it was always a struggle for me to get any grade above a B. Meanwhile, I noticed roommates and other classmates who spent a lot of time playing cards and doing other things seemed to effortlessly get A's in their courses. They worked hard too, but not much harder than me. The difference, in my opinion, was that they were simply smarter and more gifted than me. Elite universities can really separate out those who merely work hard and those who are truly gifted and talented. So what does this mean for you and your child? Well, if your child is truly gifted and has off-the-chart aptitude in a particular academic field, such as mathematics, physics, literature, or history, then studying at an elite university can be a real benefit. If your child has a potential to be truly elite in a field they love, there's no substitute, in my opinion, for studying under and alongside the best minds in the world at an elite institution. These universities can attract the best and the brightest among different fields. And if you're among them, then that's where you want to be. In addition to being around the best in certain fields, I also believe from personal experience that getting into and graduating from a prestigious university does provide a valuable halo effect. And what I mean by that is that people will tend to have positive assumptions and perceptions about you based upon where you went to college. And this halo effect can translate into more opportunities in particular fields. For example, if your ambition is to work for a prestigious investment bank on Wall Street or a famous management consulting firm, many of these firms like to do their recruiting at Ivy League universities. Graduating from an Ivy League or a top-notch university will at least help you land and get that first hard-to-get interview. And if you want to later attend a top-notch professional or graduate program like Yale Law School or Harvard Medical School, then graduating near the top of your class from a place like Princeton will definitely give you an edge. Institutions of higher learning respect the best in higher learning. Similarly, if you want to work for a top-tier tech company right out of college, then having a computer science degree from a place like Stanford or MIT will also pretty much guarantee you at least an interview. So it really depends on what you want to do with your life after college. Prestigious universities do open doors that are harder to crack open from lesser known colleges. If I had to draw an analogy, I would say that graduating from an elite college is like running a race where you get a little bit of a head start on the inside track. You will have an edge over the competition, but it's still up to you, and you still have to run and finish the race yourself. But what are the costs? In addition to weighing the benefits, parents and students alike should also weigh the potential costs of trying to get in to an elite college, especially given how competitive it is these days. Back when I was in high school, I remember the admission rate for top colleges like Princeton and Stanford was a little over 10%. Today, the admission rate is around 5%. More and more kids today are applying for very limited spots. Getting in requires tremendous hard work and sacrifices in high school. You have to be much more than just a straight A student. You also need to be well above average, if not exceptional, in multiple other areas such as music, sports, science, or art. This can put a tremendous amount of stress on young kids. In addition to performing in concerts, volunteering in the community, and competing in tournaments, their teen years must now be spent on endless hours studying to maintain that perfect GPA, knowing that that first B+ grade will probably end their dreams of getting into Stanford or Harvard. And since most kids will not be able to get in, many will end up very disappointed and perhaps even depressed by the end of their senior year in high school. The stress is very real and can take a real toll on kids. In some cases, it has tragically led to the suicide of kids who couldn't take the pressure from parents and peers. So before deciding whether getting into an elite college is worth it, parents should also consider whether the potential pressure on their kids is worth it. And keep in mind, there are many other paths to success in life that do not require a prestigious college degree. For example, if your ambition is to become an entrepreneur or a business owner, then it probably won't matter at all where you went to college. There are plenty of examples of successful, happy people in this world who didn't even graduate from college, let alone a prestigious one. So to summarize, I do believe that graduating from a prestigious university does provide a halo effect that does help open doors in certain careers in graduate schools. It really depends on what your child wants to do after college. And if your child is truly talented in a particular academic field, then there's no substitute for studying under and alongside with the best and the brightest at an elite institution. But if your child is merely above average and a normal kid, keep in mind that there are many other paths to success in life. One should never let any college admissions committee define who you are and your happiness in life. Now, one final note to homeschoolers. As I mentioned, one of my concerns when I decided to homeschool my own child was that I might hurt his chances of getting into a good college. I do know now that Ivy League universities have accepted homeschoolers in the past. In fact, if you look at their websites, they do detail their expectations from homeschooling applicants. They all pretty much require you to provide detailed documentation on your child's academic achievements during high school. So if you do want your homeschool child to apply to one of these top-notch universities, it's important that you start and keep detailed documentation on your child's academic record, especially during the high school years. That said, getting into an Ivy League university or a prestigious university as a homeschooler is still uncommon. But I do believe that in a post-pandemic world, homeschooling will become more the norm, and university will start seeing more and hopefully start accepting more homeschooling applicants in the years ahead. Regardless, parents should always continue to focus on guiding their children on the path that's right for them. And I hope this has been helpful in helping you guide your child on that right path. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.